Hey guys, this is John Kershaw here from Creepers, Cryptid and Paranormal Corner, and you're listening to the Bigfoot Club podcast.
Hey guys, please go to our website at www.bigfootclubpodcast.com. Check out our merch and all episodes. Also, please look for our social media at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Bigfoot Club 1. That's Bigfoot Club number 1. Also, check out Matt Knapp's Bigfoot Crossroads on YouTube. Bigfoot Club, Season 4, Episode 27.
28.
Damn it, I was close. It's close, man.
I think I'm going to keep that.
Here, edit this in Episode 28.
Why are you turning your hips for?
To the listeners, I'm like hovering like I'm a butterfly over the mic.
Yeah?
I'm moving my hands like Bigfoot Club, Season 4, Episode 28.
It's dumb.
Thanks, man. I work real hard on these.
How was your week at work?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah? How the babies?
Babies are good. Hopefully they... Maybe if I say the opposite, I hope they get sick.
Yeah.
I hope they get sick. And then, yeah, man, they get sick next week, too.
Because then the opposite what happened?
Because every time we did an episode, I say, yeah, I say the opposite of that. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Reverse karma.
Reverse karma out in the universe. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. We haven't done a show in a while. I'll just say this. We did this show 2 weeks ago, and I was not a fan.
Which I thought it was perfect, by the way.
I'm not a fan.
327.
We're gonna do just so people understand. If you haven't seen the Blackwell Ghost, stop this podcast now. Go to Amazon Prime and watch it. And then come back, and then we'll talk about it. Or you can hear us talk about it, right?
Yep, because this is not a spoiler-free episode.
Yeah.
This is full-on spoilers. We're going to go into great detail. Great detail. Like, we're talking about how many knocks were on each documentary.
Oh, you're taking a stab at me.
By the notes that you wrote here, yeah, I mean... I think you're gonna have to reach out to Turner and be like, "Hey, man, I wrote a play, a play about all your documentaries." You gotta say it like that too.
How?
Like, I wrote a play all about your documentaries.
What do I sound like? Our
or were you talking about Antonio Banderas?
Probably.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Roberto, why do you gotta be talking about the Blackwell Ghost?
That's pretty good, man.
It's not that good. If anything, I could have probably sounded like Javier Bardem.
What did you do? Like what's his name?
Mark Wahlberg?
No.
I feel like the listeners are probably
Christopher Walken.
Oh Lord, you put me on the spot on that one. Hold on, I have to ease into it. Oh, excuse me.
You like the Blackwell Ghost?
Yeah. Like, whoa, you like the Blackwell Ghost? I'll be damned. If I haven't, I don't know why that's a signature saying.
Why does he have to cuss?
I'll be fucking damned if I have not seen this documentary.
Ghost spirits.
I won't eat it. This place is haunted. I don't know. That sounds like somebody else.
It does.
That was completely not Christopher Watts. His brother.
What's his name?
Tristan.
Tristan Walken?
Tristan Walken, yes. Yeah, making you laughing. The Matt's not even here yet.
I know.
I mean, if he jumps on. Maybe not. But.
Yeah, he's probably already asleep already.
Yeah, man.
Love Matt. Matt Knapp and Bigfoot Crossroads. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good, right?
Perfect timing.
I know.
Perfect timing.
So, we're going to talk about the Blackwell Ghost. It's a show, it's a documentary It's on Amazon Prime. I was introduced to it by Candace Brown, my coworker. I call her Candice.
Or Candace O'Shandis.
I don't call her that.
Oh, the Polish phenom?
I call her Zebra Cakes. I call her
Zebra Cakes.
Candice. I go, what are the Candice? I don't know why I do that. But
is it like, are you trying to pay homage to Khaleesi?
No, I think one day she ordered food through Uber. And
oh yeah, you did tell me this.
I did tell you the story. So she ordered food through Uber, and she couldn't leave the desk, so she asked myself and Caitlin to go down and get it. So we went down and get the food, and it was a Uber guy, and his English wasn't very, very good. Mm-hmm. And Caitlin asked him, it goes, "Hey, is that a food order for Candace?" He goes, "No." She goes, "Well, who's it from?" Who's it for? He goes, "Candice." He said it like that. This week, we're not talking about Bigfoot, even though our name is Bigfoot Club. Mm-mm. We're talking about the Blackwell ghost. Like I was saying, Candice got me to watch it, and then I got you to watch it, and then you really enjoyed it, right?
I did.
So it's about this documentary guy named Turner Clay. He was doing zombie movies, and I think he was doing okay with them. These were B-rated movies and stuff.
C-rated, but yeah, sure.
So he wanted to do a paranormal thing, and he had some video. I've seen this video before, the one he was talking about. It was like a hotel. It was a front desk guy or security guard. I can't remember. Where he goes into a room, and it was there's noises, and he goes
screaming, right?
There's screaming and noises, and he goes in. They don't show when he goes in, but you could see stuff moving or something like that, and you could see a vapor that comes out after he's in the hotel room itself. And so I think he wanted to do it. He wanted to do paranormal stuff, and I think a lot of people were submitting stuff to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And then one in particular, this one guy sent him a video of something moving in the living room and the lights turning, one of the lamps turning off. Mm. It was in Philadelphia. It says 313 Pine Street, Philadelphia. It doesn't give a zip code or anything like that, so maybe he's protecting it, or maybe it doesn't exist. I don't know.
Did you try looking it up?
I did. It tells, the internet says that it doesn't exist.
313 Pine Street.
Yeah. So
what you're saying is Turner Clay is using a, what do you call it? When authors use a different name.
Alias.
Was it alias?
Well, that's for a name.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the word I was looking for. Fuck. I forgot the name of it. Anyway,
if you know what it is, send us an email.
Yeah. Comment, subscribe, like the video down below.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So he's interested in this house, and I forgot the guy's name. I think his name is Greg. Greg or something, right?
Yeah, you didn't put the last name on it, but it's Greg.
It's Greg. So he's got this house, and he invites them over. They fly from Kentucky over there to go visit him and stuff. And
yeah, Turner Clay is a man of many things, a jack of all trades. He's a director. He's a writer. Well, I don't know what he does actually. I think that's his side thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what he does for a living, but he's also a pilot. So yeah, he flies their personal small plane, him and his wife, to Philadelphia. I could have sworn it was Pittsburgh. Man, I could be wrong.
I think it's close to Pittsburgh, where he was able to drive, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, I think he also plays piano too.
Yeah, you're right.
So, wow. So apparently, he goes to this guy's house, and I think he agrees to do investigate the house. I think supposedly there was. I think Greg told him that it was. He walks him down. They walk around the house, and there's obviously some parts of the house that have been I guess not the original part of the house, like the part of the kitchen, and I think the master bedroom was the extended part of the house.
The master bedroom, yep.
So he was saying that he would hear nightly people walking up the stairs. It's an old wooden house, and so then he takes him downstairs to the basement, and it shows him a well. So he says the whole neighborhood has these wells, and supposedly
all attached,
connected. So he was saying that I think the lady that lived there before had killed a bunch of kids, 7 kids, I think. Or I'm probably wrong on that.
I don't know the amounts, but she was a serial killer.
Basement opens the door in the first night and open again while he goes on and closes it, and then he goes and investigates the kitchen and stuff. I think it was some noise in the kitchen, and the basement door opens again, but there's no camera on it.
Mm-hmm.
So he does that, and I think he's like invested in the house and stuff. So I think I think the very next day he investigates the local library microfilm, and he finds the owner of the house, the lady that one of the owners of the house with Ruth Blackwell.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first day he goes down to the basement, he takes off the lid, stinks really bad, and I think once he did that, I think he made it worse. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So
now on this, let's just say if that is true, do you think that late at night she would go through the well and go to each wells and get out in other people's houses and kidnap a kid while they were asleep?
that's possible. I mean, she'd have to be super strong, and
I mean, back in the day, I mean, that's all they did.
I know that well. He said it was like 60 feet. That's a long way to go down.
Oh, a long way to go down.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like not that far.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think Greg said it was like 30, but I think he measured it with a string. He took the string down, and it was man, it's loud.
Sorry. I just realized, like, oh shit, I put it right by the mic. Damn.
So I think on the third night, the storm hits, the camera batteries go off. 2 a.m. the power goes off, and then I think when they're in bed,
Shit.
it's all right. I think when they're in bed, so yeah, the third night, the power goes off. Upstairs, the upstairs bathroom sink is running. He goes and checks it out. Water's running, turns it off. He goes downstairs, and all the sinks, like the bathroom, the kitchen, all the sinks were going off. They were just running. And then he goes down to the basement, and even the basement down there is running. And then he notices the balls on top of the ball, because I didn't mention this before, but he brought like a ball propped and put it like in the living room, because he was thinking if there was kids there that they would want to be enticed and play with it. Mm-hmm. So when he goes down to the basement, the ball is sitting on top of the well. The
on top of the lid of the
well. Lid of the well. So he makes it up to the first floor, and then let's see, the chandelier swinging when he goes up to the first floor after he discovers the ball, and then the sinks on the first floor are running again, and then the video is him leaving into the basement, and while he's in the basement, there's like a figure. I don't know, the camera. There's like a, this is toward like the very end of the show, and when he's down there and he sees the ball, he's moving the camera away to run out of there. And in the corner, you can see like a figure wearing, I mean, it's not really clear, but you can see it's like a figure of a woman wearing like period piece clothing, like a dress. Mm-hmm. So that's how that one ended. So Blackwell Ghost 2, it starts off with showing reviews of the Blackwell Ghost 1, like people were saying it's fake, blah, 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 or it was not true, or stuff like that. And then he was doing Raccoon Valley, zombie movie that he actually filmed in the Blackwell house. So he was like trying to save money. So he said he was filming it, in the old house, and so he was just saving money doing that, which I thought was cool. And then he leaves and goes back home. Turner receives a package in the mail. This one was kind of intriguing. This part right here, where he gets a letter in the mail from a woman named Nancy, who lives in Florida. She's 92. And apparently, like whenever he did research on the first one, he found the one shot of Ruth Blackwell. But Nancy sends him this big shot, and it's like Ruth Blackwell, this little girl, her husband. I'm assuming it's Ruth Blackwell's husband, and she's got two boys and one daughter in the middle, standing up, and Ruth and the husband and the little girl are sitting down, and the kids are standing behind them. And so Nancy says that the little girl in the picture is her, and she knows Ruth Blackwell very, very well. And that she said that her family died in the fire, and the Blackwells took them in. And so in the letter was like supposedly pictures of kids that Ruth Blackwell kidnapped, but he never showed. I think he blurted out, and you couldn't see it. and he didn't show very much of that. So
I didn't even notice that. I don't remember. I gotta rewatch it now.
Yeah,
should have rewatched it.
So in the package, she has a record, like a record, and I looked for the name of the record, and it's not anywhere. Like the name of the song, because it's just music.
Right.
It was a record, and it was like, I think a consent form, because I think she was the last known relative of Bruce Blackwell, so she had the consent form. I don't know why she's giving it, I guess because she saw the first episode, and she was giving consent for all of Ruth's belongings, and it was like a CD scan. And it was like a sign-in sheet for, I guess she got committed when she got really older to some insane asylum, and I think that's where she died. So the scans had a map of the back of the property. He flies to Pittsburgh, and it's like a box, and apparently all her stuff had mold, so they threw a lot of stuff away. So they just scanned a bunch of stuff, and they gave him like a CD scan and a map and some other stuff. So he felt it was like a waste of his time. I guess the original map was kind of really blurry, and he has like a CD scan, so he looked at, and there was a map on that, so he was able to highlight it, and on the map it was like, you can see it's like the property, but he says, what did he say? It was an old vacuum cleaner. It looked like an old vacuum cleaner, but you can see it was the layout of like the front yard, the stairs,
right,
the house, and except for the parts that I guess got built in afterwards. So do you recall that?
I do recall that.
So, and then at the very top of it, it was like an X. And so I think he drives back with Terry, and they dig. They
without asking Greg.
Yeah, without asking Greg permission. And that part was really funny because he was messing up a bunch of stuff, and so he finds like a metal, because he has like a metal detector. I don't know how he knew it was metal. Did you find that odd?
Yeah, that's where you kind of little slip ups here and there. Maybe he was just expecting to want to try see if there was anything still buried there. I mean, because you got to think back in that day, what kind of safe would you use to bury something? What could you use? And it was a safe metal, I guess. So yeah, I mean, he had a point of using it. He just had. I remember there was a goof on there where he didn't want to read the manual. Terry was like, why don't you just read the manual? No, I'll figure it, like being a man. Yeah, I got this. I'll figure it out. 30 minutes go by, and he's reading the manual. Oh yeah, if I just did that. Oh, okay. And you're just like, yeah, that sounds just like us. So he digs in the back of the house, finds a box. It's probably, I don't know, I think it was 2 feet by 1 foot or something. It's pretty. It looked pretty heavy because it looked like he was having a hard time moving it. Getting out of there too. So he goes back to his house. And I know you and I were watching this at the same time, and he gets a skeleton key, and he gets it open, and it's full of mud and dirt. And so he pulls it out, starts putting it onto a pan, and you can see him doing it slowly, and then there was white little items in it, and we both looked at each other and go, that's fucking teeth. And so he's just scooping it out like nothing, and then he's making a big deal of it too, saying nothing's in here. It's just nothing but dirt and rocks. Yeah, and you can hear the tray whenever he throw dirt in there. You can hear the clink. Yeah, clink. And I was looking at you, and I was like, those are teeth. Yeah, and we're like, oh my god. And then he has that sudden realization, wait a minute. So he realized it's teeth, right? It's teeth, and he has that gross realization on his face, oh my, ew. Yeah, and I think he had gloves on. I think he did have gloves. Yeah, he did have gloves on. And I think he was trying to give it to the authorities, but no one would take it. And Greg calls him, lets him know he's going to sell the house. So then he goes well, I better go up there. So he goes back to the house, but he's by himself this time. Yep. So I think the first night he notices he sets up the ball, notices 4 locks on Greg's interior door. Yep, I remember saying that. And he was saying, he goes, man, if he's not afraid, I mean, because why is he he's locking himself in, and it's literally, I think from the first lock all the way up to the very top corner of
What the heck?
things slide in locks and chains.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. So I think the first night, he does that, and he puts the camera on the basement door this time because on the first Blackwell Ghost, he didn't put a camera on the basement door that was open on the first one. Mm-hmm. So he puts one on this one, and then while he's falling asleep, about 2:37 a.m., the closet door opens and closes, and he doesn't even notice it.
2:37 a.m.
Yeah, 2:37. The other ones, we'll get to that. Okay. So it does that. The second night, there's a thunderstorm, and
the power goes out, right?
Mm-hmm. And then the power goes out. Well, hold on. It's a thunderstorm. The chandelier is moving at 1 a.m. At 3:47, the basement door opens. The ball rolls off the table while he's asleep. Doesn't even hear it. It rolls off. He gets up to go to the restroom. He doesn't even notice the ball's missing, and then the basement door's open. He doesn't even notice it. He goes to the restroom, comes back out. Lays back down. The record player starts playing by itself, and he gets up and he notices it. So that was kind of creepy. The doorbell starts ringing right after that.
Yeah.
And then whenever the doorbell rings, he turns off the record player. Mm-hmm. So it ends that night doing that. So day 3 in the morning, he notices the ball's missing off the table, and the ball is next to the well. He goes back down and investigates. Well, the ball's missing. He gets up. The basement door's closed now. Goes downstairs and notices the ball is next to the well, not on top of it this time, but next to it. So that was kind of creepy. I know that creeped the heck out of me.
Yeah.
While he was in the basement, the recorder was playing upstairs. The record started playing again while he was down there looking at the ball. Mm-hmm. So that third night at 12:01, he can hear walking on the stairs. He hears that. At 1:11 a.m., the record players again, and this time he has it in the living room with him. So it goes off then. The living room, the back kitchen door opens too.
Yep.
So he has a lot of poltergeist stuff going on,
and it's very powerful,
very very powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said powerful stuff.
Powerful stuff.
What did it say like that for?
Very 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 powerful stuff.
I saw like a reverend or something.
Very very powerful stuff.
The Lord is very very powerful
and stuff.
Who says
the
that?
Lord works in very powerful ways.
So the back door opens. Recorder starts while he's back there looking at it. Mm-hmm. And then the kitchen table chairs move again. When I wrote again, when did they move the first time? Did I miss that? I think I missed that.
Yeah, probably.
Damn it!
It's okay.
The record plays again. The doorbell rings a lot. The shades fall off the door.
Yeah,
the shades fall off the door, and the love seat moves, and the door opens. And the record player starts. And then that's how the second one ends. So the second one ends with a lot of poltergeist activity, which I thought was kind of odd.
Yeah, that's... if it's able to do all that simultaneously, that's pretty powerful stuff. Because I remember when that ended, I was like, oh, shit. I remember when we were watching it, you was like, this is pretty bad. And I was like, oh, geez. And then I was like, yep, that's A-class top-tier bad. Like, he needs to leave.
I'm surprised he didn't get possessed or something.
Yeah, because if that's something that powerful, oh, Lord.
So, this leads into Blackwell Ghost 3. Mm-hmm. This one starts off with him talking about dreams about a person. And in his dream, it's mentioned the name Sarah.
Sarah Baker?
It does, but he just says Sarah for right now. It is Sarah Baker, but he says just Sarah on this one right now. Mm-hmm. And he came across her picture on the internet. I don't know how do you do that?
Synchronicity, man.
Yeah. So he comes across her picture on the internet, and it's Sarah Baker, 1972, missing person. And it's like a flyer. I think he calls and says, "Hey, he's trying to find like information." He thought it was a missing person, but they said that she was found, and she was part of the Lightfoot case, serial case. And he doesn't have a clue what's going on. Right, this part right there where he says Lightfoot serial case, it jumps right into he was interviewing Joseph Lightfoot,
the son, right?
Yeah, Joseph William Lightfoot, and talks about his dad killing 18 women. And so he said he was a part of that, and he said he tortured and violated some of the women. He ate some too. That's weird. So once that interview ends, he wants to rent that house. It's like a house in the...
Yeah, he does it Airbnb style, right? Because it's owned by... Is it owned by his son?
It's owned by... let me see here. What's the note say? Some guy named Roger.
That's right.
So...
never show him once.
No, they just hear his voice, and they altered his voice and stuff a lot, so...
Oh, they do that. The camera where it's dark and... Yeah, I don't know what happened here. This is... all these women got killed, and yeah, man, TV Salon.
Did you say TV Salon? Let's see. Okay, so he rents the house. He brings Scrabble letters. There's knocks in the house in the back bedroom. The back bedroom door slams by itself on that first night. And then 247, because I think this house, because it's so far into the woods that he doesn't have cell reception. So that house has a landline, okay? And it's one of those old-timey hand,
rotary dial phones.
Yeah, so he's got...
On the wall.
So he's got that, and at 247, the landline rings. And at this time, you just see him pick it up, and that's it. You don't hear nothing, because he doesn't have a mic on it or nothing. So he just picks it up. And so the next day, the owner, Roger, wants to help. He wants to be a part of this documentary that he's doing. And, Turner's he's solo on the mic. Doesn't want to do it. And then I think Roger says that he offers his cousin. His cousin works for the local PD. And that he could get, the notes and info for the murders that happened there. And he said, because he could email you. So he emails, I think his cousin emails Turner a zip file of some of the cases. And so it says on there's 18 victims. 8 victims were recovered. And he has a consent from 3 of the families to disclose the information. Linda Crane, age 22. Olivia Jones, age 19. Sarah Baker, the one he had to dream of, age 21. Turner says he suspects that Sarah is the one who haunts that house, that Lightfoot house. Comes back the second time, 14-hour drive, drives off on a motorcycle, comes back, because he rents it, I guess, again whenever he's there. And the bedroom light was on. And that was it for that part. And I think that first night, the phone rings again at 2:47 a.m., and there was some slight knocks right after that too. So
yeah, it's like one of those. It was very subtle.
Yeah, it was like letting them know, hey, we're here.
Yeah,
hey.
Hey, come over here. We got something to say.
So the next morning, some knocks during the day, whenever he's talking to the camera and stuff like that. And I thought that was kind of interesting. And then he talks about Linda was killed in the woods trying to escape. Her body was found 8 miles over a Passover in January the 10th, 1973. Olivia was reported missing after attending a college orientation party. Her body was reported by a train engineer, reported running it over on the body on a train trestle, like a train bridge. Right. So he must have ran it over, and then I guess he called the authorities on that one. And then Sarah Baker was believed to be killed inside the house. She was killed with an axe. So I think the axe was still in the shed. So
it had some blood on it.
Some blood, and I think it had an evidence tag on it.
Oh man!
Which that was kind of messed up. So she was found chained to a barrel on a concrete next to a small light station on May the 1st, 1972. So that was it's pretty graphic on that. So
yeah, that's pretty brutal. It doesn't go into detail as much, but it's pretty bad. What bothers me though is that you can't really find it on the internet. That's what bothers me. And he had to say for that too.
Yeah, he said that that it was a pending investigation. There's not going to be any case, but I think most of it's solved now, so it's still not on the internet.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, okay, but that was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure with your help of this documentary here, some things are getting like answered, like the questions are being answered. Yeah.
So night 2, he thinks, because there's knocking going on while he's in there, and he thinks it's coming from the back door, and it's about 9:42. There's knocks. This time he adds a mic to the landline. This time,
yep,
like he mics it up because it's been ringing at 2:47 each time he stays there, and so at 2:47 he gets a call. He hangs it up. It gets static. He hangs it up. They call back, and it's a static of a woman groaning. He hangs up again. It rings again. He doesn't answer. There's loud banging. So at this point, it gets louder. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, hey, you notice this us? We're gonna bombard it more. And the next morning, he tries to find the locations of the 3 deaths. The 3 death sites of the 3 girls.
Right.
Linda, Olivia, and Sarah. So, night 3, 11:16, there's knocks, 2:47 a.m. The phone rings again. He hangs up. It rings a second time. He hangs up. And each time it's just static. So each call, it's static. It rings a third time. It's static. It rings up. The back door opens as soon as he hangs up.
Yep, I remember that.
So, and then the back door slams. Mm-hmm. And so the bedroom door slams. The table turns over. He leaves and gets in his car. Because I remember when that happens. The back door slammed. The back bedroom slammed. The table flips over. The one that has the Scrabble letters flips over, and he's backing up, and he just leaves. And I thought it was. So he leaves and gets in his car. He sleeps in his car. But what I was talking to you about this as well is that this part right here was really interesting to me because I went back and I listened to it a couple times. But whenever he does wake up in his car, you can hear like nature, like
birds chirping
and stuff like that. But then there's a distinctive call, and to me, it sounded like a Bigfoot call. And, he's like, he wakes up and you can see him rubbing his eyes and he puts the camera on his face and then you can hear the call. And then he looks like to the side real curiously, like, and then the footage cuts. But I went back and I listened to it like 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. And it sounded like a Bigfoot call. It didn't sound like a crane or, anything else, a deer, or I don't know what they got out there. It could be, I don't know if they have like really big deer or something like that, but it didn't sound anything like that. So I don't know. So he gets up, goes back to the house. He notices that the table's over and the Scrabble words are all mixed up, right? Mm-hmm. They're on the floor. And then at this part, I think he brings in Joseph William Lightfoot, and he's reading his poem about destiny, which is a good fitting to the end of this one. And he notices the Scrabble words on the ground. It spells, and there's other words there. I mean, there's other letters there, but distinctly it shows "help us."
Yep,
and that's how the episode ends.
I was kind of hoping you would have typed up the poem.
Yeah, I was going to, but
because it kind of matched the theme of that episode.
Yeah,
it was like Destiny, who are you? Ba 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 boo bee bee boo 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 or something like that. I don't know.
It doesn't do that.
It doesn't do that, but it's like he keeps saying Destiny, where are you?
I thought about it, but I didn't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not good enough to you.
I humbly apologize. I humbly apologize. What did I sound Russian for?
Was that Russian?
I humbly apologize.
This sounds like Gru. He's constipated.
Who?
This Gru from Despicable Me.
Oh, yeah.
I humbly apologize. I don't know. It just sounds...
Actually, that does sound Russian.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Give me some vodka.
I like vodka toothpaste. And
it's disgusting.
I'll take 9. Oh, Lord. We're funny.
We're very funny.
Sorry, I had a burp.
Yeah.
Blackwell Ghost 4. I'm assuming this came out in September 26, 2019?
Mm-hmm.
That one, it's... So these next... I guess, yeah, the 3, 4, and 5 is... Let's just call it... It's going to have the same premise.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with Turner in the woods in Florida. And I think he's doing his spiel, his talking.
Right.
You know, where the investigation is at now, or where when it was filmed. The good thing is on that one is that him and his wife are expecting a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's pretty excited about that, but he's still following his dream of being filming at this place. Turner is actually is calling the Marion police about the evidence on I guess a documentary,
mm-hmm.
And it explains all of Lightfoot. Like during that time, he's like explaining that all the Lightfoot case is not really online. Mm-hmm. It's not. They haven't put it. It hasn't been solved. I guess
because it's an open case.
It's still an open case. Which there's some cases that are online that are still open cases. But anyway. The benefit of the doubt on that. He is forced to call the cousin of the owner of the lighthouse. They offered the note from James Lightfoot.
Yes.
You explain on that one?
Yeah, it was the note that whenever he killed himself.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so it's a suicide letter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, yeah. But it's kind of like a riddle, right?
Mm-hmm. So like in May of 73,
yeah.
James Lightfoot, he killed himself in the house.
Shot himself in the head. Next to his body was a manila envelope was a note. Police said that it was a crossword puzzle buried in the bottle of my first kill, Susan. Or he talks about his first kill, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
The puzzle leads to her. Turner posted a letter on his social media. He asked the police. On May 1st, 2019, he posted on Facebook Blackwell Coast page, I guess with that social letter, or that letter.
Yeah, it was like a crossword puzzle or something.
Right. Because at that time, was he asking, or was he just posting it, or was he just asking for help? Hey, can you help me with?
He was asking for help because like the police didn't know.
Right.
And they gave it to him, and he asked police if he can have permission to post it on social media so he can have more people on it. So they agreed at that time.
Wow. That's one on the list of the victims is listed Susan Forster,
mm-hmm.
Whose body was never found. And that's Turner. I think it shows Turner interviews Carol Forster,
the mom.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. That was kind of sad.
Yeah.
He on this one he gets a little kind of techie. Like on this, like I don't know how he came up with this.
Yeah. It's like a speak and spell.
A speak and spell voice emulator, where if I remember correctly, it had like a bunch of like metal prongs on certain letters, mm-hmm. and he had it so where like the sensitivity was like mm-hmm. just right, where if they want to communicate, they can spell out like a typewriter or a keyboard. I thought that was kind of cool. He heads back to Florida to go back to the Lightfoot house. This time he comes fully prepared on day one. He brings chimes, motion sensors, radios. He actually puts a new camera in the hallway. And he goes full gear on this one because he just wants that I guess that extra help. Can you help me put up those cameras? Yeah. I don't know why I made him sound like George W. Bush. Hey, can you help me put up them cameras? We need to come up with a strategy catching this ghost. Maybe they just want, maybe they want to come back and just vote for me. Okay. Let's see. So this one, I do remember this one now. This one is like the full on like assault of constant knocking. Mm-hmm. At 5:45 p.m., it knows him already. They know him.
It's like the more evidence he finds, the louder the knocks get.
So this one it was loud, and it's just constant knocking at 5:45 p.m. and you can tell it's already giving him taking a toll on him already.
Anxiety.
The anxiety's kicking in. He's like, he already says like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here, but I have to be here. So it goes from knocking, and then at 6:17 p.m. we get. I think I jumped on this one. Because we weren't expecting a loud... That telephone is fucking loud.
Yeah.
It is loud. I don't know how y'all did it back then with it being so loud. If y'all had that close to your bed, I would be pissed.
No, we had ours like in the kitchen.
Yeah. Did it? Speaking of which, and this is going a little bit off subject here, you had yours in the kitchen. Did you ever get like those weird calls, prank calls?
Yeah.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah, all the time.
Like, did y'all ignore it, or
like the real funny thing about those phones is that when the power went off, it had its own power. Like the phone line had I think it was like really small, like 3 volts or something like that, and so that was enough just to have the phone. So if we lost power during the storm, the phone always worked. So if the power went off, the phone would ring no matter what. And so I always thought that was kind of creepy back then.
Yeah, that is kind of creepy.
So,
is that still the same now?
No, I mean, I'm not sure.
Unless it's a cordless phone.
I think most of the phones are like digital now. So, I don't know. That's actually a really good question.
If you know the answer,
because the old phones were run off analog, which is like the volts. So I think now it's like mostly like digitals or something. So anyway,
yeah. So anyway, back to where the phone call at 6:17 p.m. Terry actually calls him. I'm pretty sure she's like checking up on. Oh yeah, she gets after him. She's like, "Hey, you didn't call me.
Yeah,
said that you got there."
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's all like, "Oh yeah, sorry, baby, my,
I forgot.
My bad, And then it's just a short phone call. The knocking leads to banging.
Yeah,
it's like pa pa pa, just constant banging. And this is the part where I was telling you on our last episode that you didn't air. That the researcher and us wouldn't allow this to be this long,
right?
Because it honestly would infuriate me. I wouldn't be able to sleep because of all anxiety. And where's the banging coming from? He never investigates, which makes it authentic because that's not what he is. He keeps saying that he's not an investigator. He's as a director. And he's there to document and direct things as they happen. I'm
going to go off subject really quick with this, but do you remember Attila Caldi said the same thing? That he was not an investigator. He was not a researcher. He just filmed stuff.
Right.
And so they almost had the same like mentality a little bit. So
yeah, they do.
Shout out to Attila Caldi.
Shout out. If only we can get him on our show. Again. I feel like we need a do-over in that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Audio-wise, yeah.
Audio-wise, yeah. So, at this point now, this is where the mental state kicks in. He's doubting if he can make it through the night, or make it through the day. He's, like, doubting it.
We were talking about this a while ago, too. Go ahead.
This time he closes the curtains in the living room. I think on the first night,
he had all the windows open,
and honestly, I don't think I would be comfortable with that. I don't care if if I own the property and it's just me out there. Nah, I'm gonna close the.
Yeah, curtains. I don't want anybody seeing me. That's me.
Yeah, because you don't know what's out there, and then as we talked about it a while ago about that call, that call that he heard, that you and I heard, and we're like, I think that's a Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot out there. I don't want that waking up and then something staring at me. That's always been a fear of mine. So, this is he closes the curtains. He actually brings a blood pressure cup.
Yeah.
And his blood pressure is pretty high. it's 170 over 100, and I think mine has been that high before, because I have high blood pressure. So seeing that, I was just like, "Yep, that's serious. Anxiety. That's how bad anxiety can get, and how fear can overcome that." It was bad. So he at that time, whenever he's sitting on the couch, he's watching TV. He has the dining room light on, and then he brought the chimes, right? So the chimes start ringing, and then there's more knocks, and then the chimes fall, right? And the chimes are on above the. They're on the ceiling, right?
The ceiling, like
right
in the
above,
kitchen.
Right
in the
above
kitchen.
the thing emulator. Is it right above it?
Yeah, and that little island in the kitchen. So
the back sensors of the room go off at 2:44 a.m. That's a little. Yeah, it's like warming up.
Yeah, warming up,
winding up, and it's both room sensors. He goes back there, and obviously, this is the part where he investigates. He actually investigates. He goes back there. So he goes back there. He checks. I think he just, at this point, it's just the back room. He never puts anything on the side bedroom yet. So he goes to the back room. He checks. He does that little scared walk in, because I think I would do the same thing. I would look around. Yeah. And be like, okay, no one's in here, but the thing's going off. And then I think he walks in front of it to see if it works, and it's going off again. He's like, okay. I think does he close the door? I can't remember.
No, he keeps it open.
Keeps it open, and then whenever he's coming back to the living room, what do we see?
The curtains are now open.
The curtains are open, full view, and he doesn't notice it.
No,
right then.
At first, he doesn't.
Yeah, and it's just shit like that me and you were like, "What is it? Just me, or is it were the curtains closed?" So, so the curtains are now open as he enters the living room. A shadow.
Now he doesn't notice this either.
He doesn't notice it.
The curtain's open. He doesn't notice the shadow as he's because at this time the phone's ringing at 2:47.
Oh yeah, so he's coming back
because the phone's ringing.
The phone's ringing, and the curtains are open, and while he's answering the phone, shadow walks by like a reflection on the window.
Yeah, it's like walking from the living room to the hallway. So,
and it's a dark shadow. Obviously, and while he's answering the phone at 2:47 a.m., it's just more static,
and that's how that day ends.
That's how the day ends. So the next day, in day 2, he actually goes and visits Olivia Jones and Linda Crane and Sarah Baker's graves. He also visits Lightfoot's grave.
It's like way at the back too.
Yeah, he drives back to the house on this one. After visiting the graves, and that's whenever he notices that the back door is open. So I think this is the part where he thinks Roger is there. So when he pulls up, he's got the camera on the dashboard, and he's like, the door is open. Like, I wonder if Roger's here. So he gets out, and the camera's still rolling, and he's like calling out Roger. And like, Roger, you here? And no one's there. So he gets his camera, goes inside the back door, or was it the side door? I think it was the side door, right?
Yeah, side door.
The side door. It's a little hallway, and on the right of it, there's
the washer and dryer.
The washer and dryer, or is washer and dryer's on the left, and then the right of it is the bathroom.
Yeah, it's on the right.
Okay, so he goes in there, and that's whenever he notices that the table is turned over. The power's off too, right? The power's off, and the table's turned over with the Scrabble letters. And then he goes back and plays the video. Replays the video, and then there's more knocking on the video. The table is turning over, and the chime is ringing. He notices that the audio is playing. Well,
he goes back and looks at the audio, and you know how whenever you look at audio, it's like it's just there's silent. There's just like lines, just straight lines. He noticed that there was like audio curves in it, and so he goes back and plays it. And the was that emulator?
Yeah, the spell voice simulator. It spells out, or it says out, ZLFITOGNBXSRMEQVACUVACJYKW. He notices that when he leaves, that activity happens too. Whenever he leaves, like I guess whenever he goes to the grocery store or something, or he just happens to leave the property.
Yeah,
the activity it not amplifies, but it leaves something for him.
It picks up.
There's more banging on the walls or the door or whatever.
And this part right, I thought was kind of funny because he got really upset right here because he was like couldn't take it no more, and he's yelling like twice. Goes, what is that? What is that?
Horse finish. I won't eat it. And yeah, he's all like, why did the spell voice simulator? It says these letters, all of it. What the heck? As the same letters.
Yeah.
Now it's time to turn the sensitivity down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's whenever he's watching TV, laughing, and eating Cheetos.
I thought that part was funny.
Yeah, he's pretending everything is normal. At 2:44 a.m., the back bedroom sensor is going off, and that's the same time. Mm-hmm. Just notice that. Twice, and then 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, investigates the back room again. 2:47, the phone rings, and it's static. He says hello twice, still static, and hangs up. The spell voice simulator does the same.
It goes off right after he hangs up.
Yeah, right after he hangs up, the same letters. He notices, and that's whenever we like get like the jump of a lifetime here.
Yeah.
He notices a full body operation because we don't see it. We see his reaction,
mm-hmm.
and he's all like he like gets into like almost a fighting stance. Still holds the camera.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh my, and then he quickly like scuffles to the side door, and then he runs out, and that's the fear. We're like, what the fuck did he see? What did he see? And then he like it edits it back to what he saw, and he his camera zooms in on one hand, or it zooms in on a naked woman standing outside the window.
Yeah,
and that's what he sees.
Yep.
He's like again. He scuffles to the side door and he runs out. Like
let me just ask you this: Do you think that was Sarah Baker? You think that body? Because to me, it did.
Yeah. I mean, she's obviously has a connection with him because I'm pretty sure she was the one that made him dream about her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was probably, there were honestly, all those women, they were probably naked throughout the whole time.
Yeah, they probably were, but I think that one particular shot of him zooming in on the camera on that outside window.
It had to have been her.
It had to have been her.
Because I think now you can see like the outline of it, and you can kind of make out that she's naked.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of see like dark hair, but then again, it's outside, and it's already dark. The next morning, he wakes up in his car
again.
Was there a call on this one?
It was right before he saw her, because like the call.
No, like a Bigfoot call.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
Okay, so he wakes up in the car. He goes back in the house like after he wakes up, and he calls Terry, asked her to come stay with him. She reminds him, yeah, this is it right here. She reminds him that it's her sister's wedding tomorrow.
She's pissed, and
she's already pissed. And then before all this happened, he kind of told the audience or us that. I spent all this money on equipment for this documentary,
and flights and
stuff, and all that money is actually our savings, our vacation money, and my wife doesn't know. And him saying that in the beginning of it kind of foreshadows of what's coming to happen, because let's face it, when you're married and you do something like that, it's always going to be an argument. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
So, where's Where's it at? So, yeah, she reminds him about their vacation money. And that's whenever he's all like, oh, man, like, yeah.
I got to go home.
And then before the call ends, she says, you're being a bad husband. You're a bad husband. And then she hangs up. And that's whenever he's all like, I messed up. I got to go home. I got to cut this documentary short. I think he was supposed to stay 2 more nights or at least another night. And he had to cut it short. So he takes pictures of the glass before he left to go home.
The windows.
The windows. And when he's editing the footage, he notices that the flip side of the table with Scrabble letters spell out like the whole thing that what the voice emulator kept spitting out, all the letters. And while on the table, I didn't mention this before, but like whenever it had help us before or it had something else, it had the same letters on there too. So he went back and he edited a lot of footage and it came up twice. These letters on the Scrabble stuff. So, but the last one, whenever it flipped over, that's when he noticed it first. But he went back and looked at more. So the help us one, he didn't even have the voice emulator.
No.
So it kind of knew that it was going to be because it had it set up. The letters were aligned like that. Wow, that's creepy. The letters fill into James Lightfoot's crossword siphon filter. That's a decrypted message.
Yeah, it was like as you go through A through Z, you go A through Z, and every one of these letters that the voice emulator spit out fit the alphabet A through Z, and so you use that decryptive stuff to figure out what all the words say. So right at the third dirt road past County 42 Tower. Left at the first fork. Right at the second fork, stop at the dirt intersect. Walk 200 heeled toes down left road. Stopped and turn, compass north. 255 heel toes. X marks the spot. Turner calls the Marion County Police voicemail. They find a glass jar and body of Susan Forrester. Wow. 1954 to 1972. That was how old is she right there? Like not even 20, right? Yeah, about 19, I think.
Oh my goodness. The bottle was given to the authorities for evidence. The contents inside is a map. Still 14 bodies not found.
So his decrypted thing was this letter, right? That description right there.
So that's how Blackwell Ghosts 4 ends. So now with 5, Blackwell Ghosts 5 starts with radio calls of police finding body, and this came out on November 28, 2019. Their baby is born,
which is Maggie.
They're pretty good now. Him and his wife. It looks like she forgave him because that's most importantly there. Turner goes. It looks like she's okay with him going back to investigating and doing a documentary. Turner goes down back to Florida to interview with police about the findings.
So they're like interrogating him. You can see the video of them. Him getting interrogated.
Yeah. And they can't use the video, right? Is that what he said?
No, they said they could, but he was wanting to know what was in the bottle.
Oh yeah, that's right. So. Turner is at the Lightfoot house and is talking to Terry.
So, after he got interviewed by the police, he didn't want to get a hotel room. He just went to the Lightfoot house, stayed there. So he was only going to stay there for a little bit until he went back. So I'll let you go from there.
The police show up while he's there, and they ask him to turn off the video. While they're there, they put pink tags on the corner of the house. These pink flags on the corner of the house, and pink flags like further away from the house. And they told him that he shouldn't tamper with the flags. Like, and I think he asked questions about it and they didn't answer.
They didn't answer. He was saying, he goes, I probably shouldn't mess with it.
Yeah.
And then the next shot,
he's messing with it. He's messing with a certain part. Next shot, yeah, he's using a metal detector running over the flagged area. He doesn't have all his gears, but 3 cameras this time. So he comes up short on this one. And then there's still more knocking. A storm comes in. And I think the storm was pretty bad too. You ever notice that, like, the second or third documentary, there's a storm? Mm-hmm. It's weird. He's playing solitaire, and while that's happening, there's still more knocking. That was like around 11:36 p.m. At 2:45 a.m., the power goes off. And I think that's when I asked you. I was all like, oh, so he shouldn't. I wonder if that interferes with the phone not being able to ring. It's still, that's whenever you just told me that. There's more knocking. Turner is looking in the back rooms, trying to find the knocking. He notices that the linen hallway closet is open. I think it's open whenever he comes out of the back room.
Right.
So when he goes to the back room, it's closed. And when he's leaving the back room, the linen closet is open. Well, Jesus. It's he notices the linen hallway closet is open, and then that's whenever at 2:47 a.m. the phone rings, and it's still, guess what? It's still static, and that's still. So this is the part with the moan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's static, and then there's a woman like moaning, like, and it sounds like a painful moan.
Yeah, at this time it's December the 4th, 2019.
2019. It sounds like a very painful moan. And what did they say? No, we'll wait till we get to the end. And then that was the moan. That actually creeped me out. I was like, my gosh.
That kind of bugged me a little bit.
And then next shot is an interview with Andrew Burton on May 16, 2020. Now, this happened during the pandemic, too, right?
Yeah, it did.
I guess Andrew Burton owns 60 acres of Central Florida?
Mm-hmm. Right next to the property.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, now I'm remembering. His father was church friends with James Lightfoot. Go figure. They used to fish together every Sunday for a few summers. He felt that he never liked to fish, but he would case the property. Yeah. Like he mentioned that in the interview, so so he's casing the property, but for what, Robert?
To hide bodies.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yep. On December 28, 2019, hey.
My birthday.
It's your birthday. Officer Ramey or Ramsey?
Ramey.
Reaches out to Turner via text. And Turner calls Ramey, and they offer to deputize him because he wants to know what they found in the bottle. And this deputy, or
the
officer is like, the only way you could, look at this stuff, because they have the thing altered.
Yeah.
The only way you could look at this stuff is if we deputize you.
So I'm assuming that this part right here, that he is their best option to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, I think they're
code
desperate.
Case. Yeah, so.
They deputize him so he can get access to all the evidence. There wouldn't be any issue from here on out. He's just got to fill out the forms. So they send him the forms. February 19, 2020. He has the map, and so he gets access to the map already.
Yeah, it's like a scan. It's like a email, like a file.
Mm-hmm. And it has a palm print. Oh, yeah, it has a palm print, like a hand on the map. The top of the map has the house, and on the corner it says North Star, and that's where he notices that it's where the pink flags are at. And it has a compass direction, the heel toes. You're gonna have to explain this in numbers.
So the map from the corner of the house where it says North Star, the first direction of the first body, because he's given directions for 4 bodies right here. So the first body is compass due 212 400 heel toes. The second body from there, it is 212, 800 heel toes. The third body is 177 compass reading, and that's 700 heel toes. The fourth one is 148 compass, 500. So the fourth one is a sailboat and looks like it's over water. So he has the number 4, and it had it like on top of a boat, so it made it look like it's a sailboat or something. So the 4, and it was kind of tricky how he did that.
A sailboat over water. On the back of the letter, suddenly the fingers of man's hand emerged and began writing on the plaster of the wall. Plaster of the wall.
I forgot to put that. Oh, sorry.
The king saw the hand. That he did the writing. Daniel 5, chapter 5, verse 5.
Yeah, it's a Bible verse.
Oh, okay.
But notice he capitalized the word wall.
Oh yeah.
So that'll come into play later on.
Yeah, you're right. This is where I think Turner goes back into posting on social media about this. And then, okay, so on closing scenes of Blackwell Ghost 4, video reviewed on a ghost standing on back entrance that looks like Sarah Baker. He says he has nothing to prove. He's going back to help.
So, do you remember when he went to go back to the back room to go see the sensors? Sensors were going off. He was walking back to the living room whenever the phone was going off. He was holding his camera, and when that happened, he crosses that little area that has the washer and dryer and the other shower as he's passing through that because the power was off. So he was using like ambient lighting off his camera, and it picked up a body like apparition. Standing in that area.
Yeah, I think I must have missed that.
Yeah, because like it shows it, and then he goes answers the phone, and all that stuff happens. So this is the part where he's talking about ambient lighting a little bit here. But go ahead. So he's walking the map now.
Yeah, he's
walking the map. So he goes he does the heel toe and the compass to site 4 where it's supposed to be underwater, and he's saying right here there's no water there. So obviously the map is wrong.
Walks back into the dark. Yeah, this is part where he's like, he kind of gets lost. But he makes it back to the house. There is a light on in the house, and the bathroom light near the back door. So the light is on in the bathroom near the back door. The back room sensor goes off at 8:47 p.m. The back bedroom sensor it goes off twice at 11:40 p.m. and there's knocking. He tells it. This is where his mental thing is going off. He tells that he needs a moment of quiet.
Yeah, quiet.
He's like, quiet. Want it. I want the quiet. At 1:34 a.m., a little light knocking. So it was like trying to be.
Yeah.
It's very, very intelligent because it was trying to, or either that is being sarcastic. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Light knocking.
I'm going to do it anyway.
But I'm still going to be knocking. At 2:33 a.m.
Nothing.
At 2:46 a.m. is knocking twice. 2:47 a.m. The phone static. The phone rings. He answers it. It's the phone static again, but there's a strained moan. Knocking. He goes to the bathroom by the back door, opens the linen closet in the hallway, and the knocking stops. He turns on the lights. It's knocking 3 times.
Yeah, at this point, he turns on all the lights again.
Yeah. The interview with Andrew Burton, talking about going on vacation to Myrtle Beach, told everyone in church they didn't leave because it was delayed. His uncle was arrested for drinking and driving.
So they weren't supposed to be home.
So they were at home eating breakfast. His father noticed James Lightfoot is in his backyard pushing a cart, and it was odd that that they see him pushing the cart in their property. And
there was a barrel on it. I didn't write that. There was a barrel. Sarah Baker.
Next morning, he noticed that the linen closet was open. This is back to Turner in the house. The next morning, he noticed that the linen closet was open and the shower running near the back door. Turner thinks that the linen closet and the bathroom share a wall, which we said that in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Calls Terry to talk about the baby. So he's checking up on his wife and the baby. He leaves the Lightfoot house. He talks to Joseph and talks about going to a water tower. Is where he and his dad fished.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's leading up to something there.
Yeah, he goes to shoot 8mm to get some footage. 7:48 p.m. He comes back to the Lightfoot house, and the light is on again, the bathroom light. Linen closet is open. The shower is running. Turns off the shower, and that's when the knocking immediately starts. This is where it's like getting like, hey,
it's getting intense.
It's getting intense, and it's like, hey, why are you turning off the shower? Or since you're turning off the shower, you're here. Here's some knocking, and it's the linen, the towels, and everything, like the sheets and everything is on the floor. He reviews the footage of the hallway camera, and the linen closet opens at 7:42 p.m. Puts another camera at a different angle of the linen closet. So he sets up another camera there. 11:57 p.m., nothing happens. 1:07 a.m., nothing happens. 2:46 a.m., there's knocking 4 times. 2:47 a.m., he answers, the phone rings again, and he answers, and it's a static moan, and it gets louder. He walks down the hallway, and he hears shower running. Yeah, because I think after he hangs up the phone, that's whenever it
starts knocking.
And so he walks down the hallway and hears the shower running, turns off shower, knocking is loud. Right after that, they open linen closet, and he opens the linen closet, looks inside, looks up and notices a hole in the back wall. He brings a chair to the closet and sticks his camera in the wall. Camera zooms in, and it looks like there is a note. In the morning, he talks about what his options are while there's like knocking.
And it's pretty clear. He decides to get a hammer and break the sheetrock to get to the note.
Yep, because that would bother me if I see the note right there and it's right there. I'm gonna fucking get it. Especially just freaking knocking, just constant knocking. It obviously wants you to get the letter. 2 months later, Blackwell Ghost Facebook page gets message from Andrew Burton. He saw the map and knows the only local local knows. He stated that when he was a kid and building an airport near the property, they were building an airport near the property. They were over budget and couldn't build a beacon for the airport, and decided to put a beacon on top of the water tower, or it would light up the whole town after 2 days. They had to turn the light off, but it was long enough to get the nickname the North Star. Got it.
So the map indicates from the North Star, the water tower, all these compass and heel toe points. So at this point, they find Sandra Wilson, May 2020, Brenda Stewart, Deborah Bell, Kate Andrews, and the note in the wall. I'll let you read that.
Yeah, he gets the note in the wall. I'm not one for poems, but puzzles I adore. If you have made it this far, you may wish for more. More to the clue, I will help you see. Read what I write, and you have the key. Roses are red, violets are blue. 1,100 heel toes due northwest of 2. I'm sure whoever found this was laborer, but if not, an officer or a searcher with clues that you sought. Yet another clue that I've decided to cast. Good luck on your journey. You'll need it to last. Something out of place, you'll know it when you see it.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. So he was definitely into poetry.
Yeah. I don't know if it was good, but...
I mean...
So, to be honest with you, this right here, this is probably leading into... I know we're talking about Blackwell Ghost 5, but this is probably leading into Blackwell Ghost 7.
Yeah.
This part right here, so I'll just say that.
So that's how Blackwell Ghost 5 ends. Blackwell Ghost 6. He talks about this one really, really hurt my feelings.
Yeah, mine too. I think
this is because you saw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 by yourself,
right?
And you were getting me to watch 5 all the way up to 5, and it was like I think it was like at midnight, and you already rented 6, and you were like, "Do you want to watch it?" Because I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
and it would be the first one that we watched together.
We watched the first one together.
Yeah, we watched the first one together, but 2 after that, it was 2, 3. You watched it all by yourself.
Yeah.
And then we would watch it. You would rewatch it with me. So 6, this was something that we didn't watch like separately. We watched it together for the first time. So at the beginning, it talks about
okay. Before you start on this, when I saw this one, I got really mad at Candice, and I told her, I go, "How dare you?
Yeah,
let me watch this without telling me this."
Yeah, so. She's like, "Oh, sorry." If she hears that, that's not how you sound. I'm sorry. So the beginning of Blackwell Ghost 6. He talks about his wife having troubles having babies. Mm-hmm. They have 2 babies.
Well, he talks about them having the problem of having the babies.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden they were able to have 2.
Yeah, they were able to have 2.
It was like a miracle.
Yeah. 5 months after having their child, their second child, Terry passes away from cancer. Turner has been up at the Lightfoot house 3 times.
Yeah, since her death. He's been up there 3 times.
Yeah. Waiting for the phone to ring, hoping to hear from Terry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she would always call to check up on him. So that part, it was getting kind of emotional because I was like, what the heck? Because this is 6 hours of, or technically 5 with them 2, and you kind of grow attached to Terry.
Yeah, to both of them. Yeah.
To both of them, but specifically Terry, because like it's like his. Okay, I've done with all the bad, the demons. I'm coming home to my lady, where she's going to make everything better. So, yeah, that was really hard to accept at the very beginning. Like, damn, what? She died? So Turner has been in the Lightfoot house 3 times since he passed, waiting for the phone to ring to hear from Terry. September 28th, 2021.
Before you go any further out there, December 28th, 2021. I think it was around the time I was starting to walk. Mm-hmm. I was starting to walk on a walker.
Yep.
So I just wanted to mention that. So that's kind of when I saw that date, because it was around the 26th to 27th, 28th. I got to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure that's when I started to walk on a walker.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry.
You don't realize how much that made me cry whenever I think Blair told me that.
Man, I was crying pretty bad when that happened. I was like, I think Raymond held me for a little bit. I was crying.
I don't care. I don't care if you were struggling. The best news was because I think someone has it on video, and she shared it to me, and she's like, he's walking, and I could see you moving.
Were you at work?
Yeah, I was at work. Yeah, so that was a good date.
Yeah,
it just sucks with this. It's just during the same time that this happens.
Yeah.
So September 28th, 2021 is showing the security home footage. You don't know who it is. You're just seeing a security home footage. And then someone parks away from his house
down the street.
You see them get out. They're wearing a poncho. I think is it a poncho?
It was like a jacket with a hoodie.
Yeah, and you see somebody. It's
you can tell it's a lady.
Yeah, you can tell it's a lady. Comes out of the car, is carrying a package, and she's walking down the streets to the house where the security footage is recording. And
she drops it off of a front door about 1:21 a.m.
1:21, and it's like you're thinking it's creep mail.
Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah, he says that he's driving, he's talking about it, And he goes, I get a lot of stuff from people, and I call it creep mail.
Yeah.
And this is kind of creepy. And he goes, this is creep mail.
This is creep mail. Right at 1:21 a.m. Lady apologizes for the late hour. There's a letter, talks about buying some new toys from a secondhand store in the package that he gets. They were woken up by a noise from the attic, and when they investigated it, it was playing like play sounds from a keyboard that they got. Mm-hmm. They had to remove the batteries to get it to stop because it kept doing it. Later, they noticed magnet letters on the fridge, on their fridge. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got magnet letters on it. If you have kids, you got magnet letters.
Yep. We have kids or grandkids.
Grandkids, yeah. The magnet letters on the fridge began to move on their own, and it would spell out, "See me. I'm here in the glass." Now, there's some significance of that, too, as well.
Yeah.
By chance, there was an original receipt in the keyboard's the box with Terry's name on it.
And he says on the show that she was notorious for keeping receipts in the original package as of to like return stuff. But
it's funny because I do the same thing with video games.
Yes.
When I buy the video game, I get excited. I open up the package. I have my receipt. That's the first thing I do when I opened it.
Yeah,
I fold the receipt nice and pretty, put it on the side where they keep the handle booklet, whatever, if there is one, and I like to hold on to it. It's good memories because you're all like, man, when did I buy this? Here it is. Here's the date. So I think that's really cool and kind of relatable because I'm pretty sure other people do that without even noticing it.
Yeah.
So there was the original receipt with Terry's name on it. When they tried to look her up, it led to Turner's Movies. Oh my God, this thing. Her name was spelled out on our fridge. So it spelled out Terry's name. Mm-hmm. The keyboard was indeed his wife's, and they donated it 8 years ago. He thinks it's fake. Obviously, because no one really believes in synchronicity.
Yeah.
Or, coincidences. It could be all a coincidence at the end of it. He thinks it's fake because there's videos of him and his wife in the mountains, right?
Yeah, they're just showing happy times and stuff.
Yeah, videos of him and with the 2 kids. 3 days later, the wood is thudding.
It's like footsteps. Like footsteps going up the stairwell. Because his bedroom's on the first floor, his kids are on the second.
Okay, so since he okay, this is where I was confused. He has the keyboard now, and then that's whenever the lady said on the letter, ever since they got the keyboard, some strange stuff has happened. Yeah. So he has the keyboard now in his possession in his garage. I think no, he puts it in the upstairs
next to the kids' room.
Next to the kids' room and next to the piano where she used to play.
They have like an upstairs TV room. I've never seen that before, but
oh yeah, some people have that.
They have a downstairs one. They have an upstairs one.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
But it's almost like this is like an attachment. Like she's attached to this keyboard.
Yeah. There's wood thudding and muffled sounds, and this is October 22nd, 2021 at around 11:57 p.m. So
the muffled sounds that's what it says on the audio whenever it's playing. Mm-hmm. But as we talk more and more, it sounds more like a doorknob shaking. But it says muffled sound. But as you hear it more and more, as it gets closer, it's like a doorknob shaking. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
He gets up to investigate, and it sounds like someone turning a doorknob. You just said right now. Next morning, he gets up, Maggie and George, drops off the kids in the daycare. It's like the everyday normal, the daddy routine that he's doing. 47 minutes later, he's at home. I remember this. He's enjoying the quiet. He's getting a bowl of cereal. He's about to eat it. He turns no, he doesn't turn on the TV. He's eating the bowl of cereal in the kitchen, and then the TV just randomly turns on by itself. And he stops eating. He's all like, what the hell? He turns off the TV. And then right whenever he turns off the TV, I think it's like simultaneously on this. The piano upstairs starts to play 2 keys, and then 2 more keys, and then 3 more keys, and then 4 more keys. He goes into the garage and looks in the attic.
He pulls out his gear, his ghost gear.
Yeah, his ghost gear.
Like the Scrabble words, the emulator, chimes, and other cameras and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, he pulls out the ghost stuff, and then he's talking to Officer Ramey on the phone again.
So he's calling, just to check up on him, because he knows that his wife's passed. He's just calling to check up on you. And
yeah,
he says, "Man, I appreciate that," and stuff. And was asking about you. He goes, "Hey, when you go back to the Lifeboat House?" I don't know if I'm ever going to go.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to go to that either. And then he puts his kids to bed. October 28, 2021, around 1:18 a.m., he hears more walking and doorknob shaking, or we hear it. I'm pretty sure he hears it too.
Yeah.
He investigates again, and it sounds like it's banging on Maggie's door. And this right here, this I forgot. This is the one that pisses me off.
Yeah.
He shuts Maggie's door, and George's door is open, and the shadow on the carpet moves. I don't remember that.
Yeah. So as soon as he shuts Maggie's door, George's door is open, and then when he realizes that you can see a shadow on the carpet, like if someone's standing there, but you can't see who it is, it moves. So he can't see it because it's dark, and we can see it because it's night
vision.
It's night vision.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Okay, so there's a shadow in the room, and it moves. He hears a clicking in the upstairs TV area. He checks closet, and it's what's a what? It's a metronome.
Yes, it's one of those clocks that go.
Oh, I didn't even know they had a name for that.
Yeah.
Metronome. The spell voice emulator starts to spell glass. Incorrect?
No, it spells out glass. GLASS. And then it says incorrect. For some reason.
Weird. And then October 28, 2021 at 7:23 a.m., the kids are sleeping with Turner.
So yeah, he brings them into the room and starts sleeping with him. So
yeah, I don't blame him. His neighbor caught a plate number of the person.
Yeah,
of that dropped off that strange package. He attempts to log in to deputize and the website, and it locks him out because he's trying to run the license plate number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he apologizes to Remy about it.
Yeah, Remy's like, what you did what?
It's fraud. That's fraud
at this time.
Why does he sound like Jigsaw?
I don't know. I want to play a game. You have 3 minutes to figure this out. So it locks him out. That's a big thing with Remy. He's like, yeah, you weren't supposed to do that, blah, blah, blah. He calls the lady that dropped off the package, so he's able to get the number. He leaves a voicemail that says poop.
He says poop. He goes, for some reason, he says poop, and he goes, I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry. I'm a weirdo.
I don't remember that. Yeah. I gotta watch this. 3 hours later, she calls back. Amanda calls back. That's her name. She mentions the activity stopped when she dropped off the keyboard. Amanda also mentions the drapes in her house was open. He noticed his living room drapes were closed at night and open in the morning. He wants to start looking at the glass where his drapes are at. Starts to take pictures. So yeah, he's walking around his house with the windows or the drapes open, and he starts taking pictures of the glass of the window. The windows. He gets a call from Roger and tells Turner that he has to sell the Lightfoot house place. Yeah, and he offers it to Turner. He purchased the Lightfoot house, and he goes to Florida and closes on the house. On October 31st, 2021, Halloween, 3:07 a.m., the phone rings. His mom calls. This will fucking creep me the fuck out.
Yeah, me
chills
too.
Right now. His mom calls to tell him that the house lights are going on and off, and the security alarm is going off. The neighbors see shadow walking around the house. So this right here is the exact same thing that they're seeing
at the Watts
house. And that bothers me.
We're going to eventually talk about that.
We'll eventually talk about that. That bothers me. But yeah, that's the exact same activity that's going on right now. November 15, 2021, he goes back to the house. Talks about his HOA.
Yes, HOA sent him a letter saying that he's not allowed to do Halloween decorations.
That's right.
out of the month, and they charge him like $8 for that. So.
Oh God, give me a break. Clay, reach out to me. I'll pay for it.
Like as soon as he's talking about this, like this is during the day.
Yeah,
there's like
door thudding noises upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Turner reviews security video footage of a shadow moving in George's room. So that's where you said that happened. October 23rd, 2021, at 1:12 p.m. Another footage of dining room footage of baby monitor audio. Sounds like sobbing, static like
someone's crying.
Yeah. Turner is putting the kids to bed. It shows them, doing.
So at this time, since the last time they had the incident, they hadn't been in the house for like 3 weeks or something like that.
Right.
And so this is the first night they're back in the house.
He puts the kids to bed. He's sleeping upstairs in the couch. Smart move. At 10:27 p.m., nothing. At 11:55 p.m., plays last recording of Terry, April 25th, 2021. She's saying she loves the children.
That's like interview stuff he was doing.
Okay. November 16, 2021, 3:22 a.m., the phone rings. Downstairs, the TV is playing his movie of Blackwell Ghost 4 when Terry is upset. That's creepy.
Yeah. Like it picked that
one moment.
That one moment, yeah.
Where Terry is upset. He turns off the TV. The upstairs TV. Now, this is where he goes downstairs. He turns off the TV. As soon as he turns it off, the upstairs TV turns on his movie, his Blackwell Ghost 4, where he's talking about Lightfoot's grave. And talks about glass reflection.
So it went from Lightfoot grave to this part about the glass. So that's where he went upstairs and turned it off right at that spot.
Yeah, he goes upstairs and he turns it off. Then there's like a big metal dropping like crash downstairs and metal clinking and all that stuff. So he runs downstairs because it's pretty loud. He runs downstairs and he notices that it's the kitchen drawer open with the silverware on the floor. And during this time is where things kind of just turn kind of sinister.
Yeah.
This whole thing is all a game, and he should have picked up on this. But you go when you hear noises, you kind of go to it, and you're like, and if it's in your house, you're like,
you got to go investigate.
You got to go investigate. So he hears George crying through the baby monitor, and while it's doing that. Why he's picking up the forks and all that. Mm-hmm. He hears George crying, or he doesn't hear. Actually, wait. It just shows the video of George crying, right? Mm-hmm. And then it shows Maggie's closet is opening, and then that's whenever the baby monitor is picking up the sobbing,
the static sobbing,
and Turner runs up and grabs George, and then while he's doing that, Maggie is standing in front of the open closet door. And do you see a shadow? I don't remember seeing a shadow.
I didn't see one.
So the closet door is opening. Looks like Maggie's looking in the closet.
Yeah,
obviously she's probably seeing something.
Yeah, I think she's crying right here.
Yeah, she's crying, and then right whenever Turner grabs George, he runs into Maggie's room, and then he grabs Maggie. And then they both run. He grabs both of them, carries them, and he runs into the second living room, and he's looking at the door or looking at their rooms. The next day he drives and talks about being a parent, and this is the best option of I think he was going to send the kids to his mom's, which he should have done at the very beginning. Officer Ramey calls Turner, talks about email picture of Amanda's fridge. Turner doesn't know about Officer Ramey, what Amy's talking about. Oh, yeah, this one's fucking creepy, too.
Yeah, this one's creepy.
So he's like, Officer Ramey calls Turner about, hey, you emailed me a picture of Amanda's fridge. And Turner's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, yeah, you sent me an email, and And he's like, I never sent you an email. I never sent you that picture. I never.
Yeah.
So security footage shows when Turner's grabbing George and Maggie downstairs, his computer turns on.
Yeah.
And Officer Ramey tells Turner his wife noticed the picture. The letters are spelled backwards, and it's time of death.
That was creepy.
That was creepy. So Turner looks through his records, and that's when he puts.
He calls his mom, and his mom gives him the Dr. Crockett's number, so he calls Dr. Crockett.
Mm-hmm. Calls Dr. Crockett, and it's like late at night too. It's I don't know what time it is.
It was late. It was like it was around 10 or 11.
Yeah. So he calls Dr. Crockett, and he's like, "Hey, I wanted to see if you had my wife's or Terry's death certificate." He's like, I don't have it. I can't send it to you right now. Like, it's at this late hour. He's like, well, can you at least answer one question for me? Can you give me the time of her death?
Yeah.
Like, what time was it? And he's like, yeah, sure. Hold on. So you can hear him like going through papers, and then he's like, time of death was 2:47 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, like, my whole body like dropped.
Yeah, mine too.
And we're just like, oh my gosh, like, are you serious? And for those who need help on this one, every time he was at the Lightfoot house, the phone would ring at a certain time. Mm-hmm. And that time was 2:47 a.m.
So he was saying at this part right here that he didn't know whether they were trying to warn him. Had he heeded the warning, his wife would probably still be alive. He was just like contemplating a lot of stuff.
And at this point, me and you, I think it was me, because I was like, what if that's residual? What if 2:47 a.m. that was whenever James Lightfoot was asleep, and this Sarah Baker or any of the victims would go to that phone and try to call 911 or call help,
right? And
they couldn't be too loud,
right?
So I was thinking, it's residual. It's 2:47 a.m. The call, I don't know if it was a certain call, maybe, I don't know. I just thought it was that, but it had more of a meaning to it, and it kind of crushed my soul that it was 2:47 a.m. I think it could have been his wife. It could have been the ghost itself trying to tell him, why are you here? Like, or yeah, like you said, a warning. So 1 week later, Turner goes back to the Lightfoot house, takes the keyboard. I don't think anything happens there. While he's there.
Well, something happens.
November 24th, 2021, 2:46 a.m.
He's waiting for the
call.
He's waiting. He's standing in front of in front of the phone.
Mm-hmm. At 2:49 a.m., nothing. 3:01 a.m., nothing. Like
at this point, 3:01 a.m., he gets away from the phone, sits in a little island, puts his head down because he's disheartened.
Yeah.
And at this time, the drapes open.
Mm-hmm. And then the drapes open kind of slow.
Yeah.
And then, you can hear it. He hears it. He like lifts his head up while that's happening. He's talking about love. And 3 months later, he's at home. And well, what do we see whenever the drapes open?
Nothing. He doesn't see nothing, but you can kind of. I think he knows that was probably Terry.
Okay.
Just trying to say, "Hey, I'm here."
He's like, he's talking about love, and then 3 months later, he's at home, and the piano starts playing upstairs, and Turner goes to it, and Turner plays the big keyboard or the piano, and small piano plays a tune. Turner plays his big keyboard. It's like he's playing with his wife.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
That's how it ends, and. There was also, if I remember correctly, there was a part where he's like, he takes the babies there, and he like takes a picture of them, and the window in the background, you can kind of see Terry's face.
Or she's kind of like at the distance standing.
Yeah, standing, and it's kind of like, oh, okay. Like, okay.
I think he was reaching on that one, but
a little reach on that one. I like the fact that it's, if you really think about it, that place is probably so strong with the entities there that bringing that keyboard there, because she's attached to it somehow, bringing that keyboard there kind of amplified for him to actually talk to her.
Yeah.
To actually, and probably, you
think to find closure?
To find closure, yeah. And I think maybe with bringing that keyboard there, she's able to help him find the other bodies, maybe. I mean,
I hope so.
It's possible. Maybe that's what the next one's going to be about. Because
like, I don't know if you follow it, but I follow his Facebook page.
Yeah, I follow it.
And he's been posting some stuff, like of him taking pictures of a map or some kind of paper on some counter.
Yeah.
And he says,
it's happening.
It's happening.
They're here.
So, yeah, he's doing all that. So maybe he's setting up for
7.
Blackwell Goes 7. So then we'll just do one episode about one episode.
One episode.
So,
we'll do one episode about one episode.
So we kind of crammed 6 into this one. It's probably, I don't know, probably almost 2 hours. This one's almost 2 hours. But I probably had a lot of editing to do. So
it'll probably be like an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah,
honestly.
probably so.
But yeah, that is literally how the 6th one ends. Again, Candice, thank you for recommending this.
Yes.
This documentary, this story. It was actually very, very entertaining.
Yes, it was very cryptid, entertaining.
Cryptid, entertaining. And, yeah, I mean, I think you and I spoke about this before. I kind of want to get him on the show.
Yeah,
I'd love to get him on the show.
I've actually reached out to on his website. He's got a website, and there's let's contact us. And I reached out to him and say, hey man, I really like you. I really like your show. I like your stuff. I'd love to have you on my podcast. And so this is an open invitation to Turner Clay. If you want to come on to the show, we would love to have you, and we'd love to talk to you about this.
I mean, yeah, we would love to have you and talk to you, and it'll be an amazing thing to promote if you are indeed working on the next one, to promote your next Blackwell Goes 7.
Hey, do you want to come on to my show?
Yeah.
You want to help me with that?
Yeah. So you want to help me set up the cameras? So next time, I think since this is for, obviously for Clay on this, Sarah Baker, I think it would be kind of cool if you would come out to Texas, and we all investigate the Baker Hotel.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
I like that.
That's pretty witty, man.
Thanks, man. I think there's some closure there. What did you think of it? What was your favorite one? Like, do you prefer the Lightfoot house or the actual original Blackwell Ghost house?
The Blackwell Ghost one was there's a lot of poltergeists in that one.
That one was strong.
But he didn't really solve nothing there.
No, he didn't, because it's if we're going to be authentic here, he wasn't really doing it for investigating, other than just documenting the times of what was happening.
My favorite one was let's see here. Let me go back. It was the one with the spell emulator.
I think that's
4.
4.
Yeah, that one really crushed me because, that one, because I didn't think he was going to have very much evidence on that one, and that one is like he got the words on the Scrabble, and he got the crossword or the puzzle figured out. That was pretty neat to me. My hair stood up on that one. It was kind of almost like the same time when the finale of OA, the very end. That one made my hair stand up. The finale of that one, of the first season.
That's one show that we can talk about anytime.
Yeah,
because it talks about after, like, other dimensions when you die, maybe.
Yeah, or people call it other dimensions, but you can probably safely say heaven or something.
Yeah,
if you're called the original angel.
Yeah.
So
that is a possibility. I don't know. It's it's definitely one of those things where it's not. Is it? Would you call it paranormal? I mean, yeah, I would, because it's not. It's
supernatural. I don't know.
Yeah, Dean and Sam Winchester, sure.
Dumb.
But yeah, no, I really liked Blackwell Ghost. If you had to ask me which my favorite one was, I would honestly say the.
Man, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you. Hey, what's your favorite one?
My favorite one is the first one.
The first one?
The very first one, because
it got you. It grabbed you.
It grabbed me. It really did. Because there's plenty of documentaries out there where they just reached way too far, and this one he did a good job of keeping it like going it from I don't believe in ghosts to what the heck is this? Oh, I think I actually
Yeah,
believe
because
ghosts.
like once he realized there was, his job was not to try to prove to anybody. He just said, take the information whether you want. And people ask me all the time, is this real? I don't know. Does it matter?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
Like,
what does it matter?
Exactly. But
so I don't know why I'm doing that right now. Anyway, so but yeah, I think I can edit a lot of the stuff. So this is like almost 2 hours, 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
damn. Man.
So it's probably gonna be like 1 hour and 30 minutes or something. Somebody here?
Yep. That is Blair walking in. She is home from work.
Did we lock the whole thing?
No, she's in.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's her.
Yeah, we're about to get killed. Hey.
You like our pumpkin patch?
I do like the pupkey patch.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm good. Are y'all still recording?
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
We're about to end it though.
Yeah, we're about to end it. So
We literally talked about every documentary episode of Blackwell Ghost.
the show that you don't want to watch.
Yo.
I don't fuck with the
I
dead.
think we need an L-shaped.
We haven't done a show in a while.
No, we haven't.
I mean, we have.
We haven't done like a you and I show in forever.
Yeah, we got to do a show where we just shoot the breeze. Mm-hmm. Who says that?
Shoot the breeze.
Cool
breezy.
I was
always say that.
Yeah, cool breeze. Yeah, that was your friend.
Yeah.
What was his name? What was his real name?
Alex Cook.
Alex Cook. Why did I call him that?
Because that was his
Tag name, right?
his tag name for MySpace. Oh, Lord.
Well, we're dating ourselves there. Why?
Back whenever the HTML code was like such a thing, and you would make your own profile with,
And
coding.
it would slow your computer down.
Yep, all the time.
So
All the time.
I forget what I was talking about.
No, you can make a episode, edit this, and good night, good luck.
Yeah, I just burped.
Yeah, because I want to get this AC back on, man.
Cut it on.
No, I want us to end it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Successfully.
Can you turn the air back on?
Huh?
Can you turn the air back on?
The air?
Yes, ma'am. Sweet. Too sweet. That noise you hear in the background is air conditioned. Mm-hmm. Air conditioned.
We turned it off for 2 hours for you guys
Yeah, we sure did.
because we love you and we want you to hear the best of the best.
Shot.
Of the best.
Anyway, okay. Well, say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
All right, we're out.
Out.